And we are live, I do believe. Yeah, Thursday, the 22nd of August, AD 2024. And we're going to have a fun The Hake Report show, busy The Hake Report show, hopefully. I have some things to share with you guys. News things I've been meaning to get to. Some of it doesn't really matter, but still, it's cool, What, for example, the Swifties thing, the Swifties for Trump, and what else? I don't know. Let me show you this. What else will we cover today? I wanted to talk about some of the news items that I had mentioned, which include RFK possibly dropping out. Maybe. Tim Walz is calling Kamala a leader. Oh, gosh. Oh, seeing Obama and his wife, like, holding hands. Obama looking like a little boy. Terrible. And he's all loosey-goosey. Hey, how you guys doing? That was 2 days ago. Pink is going to sing at the DNC. Visit Afghanistan. That's kind of funny. The Taliban wants you to visit. Kind of loud, huh? A motorcyclist coming down, following Hake. And maybe not Taylor Swift. I don't care about her. I'm over her. I still haven't shown you guys that anti-white commercial, So, it's a mess. Hopefully I will share that with you. And your calls, guys. Busy calls. So, and your super chats, guys. We will get to your super chats as well. But, anyway, guys. Let's see. Let's just get right on, right? With... Oh, hold on. Let me let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine, except for my headphones users. Rest in peace to your ears. My bag, I should have turned it down. I knew that I should have turned it down. My bag. Did that hurt? That was loud, in my opinion. Thanks, Hake, for the 117th time you blew up my eardrums, says Nugget Man. Yeah, no, I'm wrong. So evil. So sick. I am wearing a nice shirt, though. Dang. Don't say that word, kids. But look, it's sort of nice. It has dinosaur bones on it. If you can look closely. I don't know if you can see. Terrible. Let me get to Luke in Colorado. Luke, how are you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I just wanted to start off the show. I wanted to know why you disavow pumpkin spice.
Because it's Starbucks, and I disavow Starbucks. They're liberals, and they have made their bed, and now they're having to lie in it.
No, I agree with that, but except for pumpkin spice is not just Starbucks. There's pumpkin spice everywhere and everything.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all right.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had anything that's pumpkin spice. Maybe.
Well, maybe you should try
I heard
it.
it's not even
pretty
pumpkin.
delicious.
I heard that it's actually like, you know, like a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of like stuff like that.
So I've been fooled this whole time.
Right. I heard that pumpkin spice is not actually pumpkin. I'm going to look this up because this is important. Let's see here. Well, you may be surprised there is no pumpkin in the pumpkin spice flavor. It's usually nutmeg, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and cloves. Boom.
All the ingredients for a pumpkin pie with no pumpkin.
Okay, yeah. But still, it's no, it sounds like it's good. I've never had it. That I'm aware of. But it sounds like it's good. I probably have had something pumpkin-y, definitely.
Oh, well, that's all I wanted to ask you because I heard you on the JLP show on the Hake News saying
Yes.
you disavowed it, and I laughed and I was like, how can you disavow a flavor?
Because flavors are concoctions of the devil meant to seduce you and keep you tied to the world and seeking pleasure. No, but I was really disavowing Starbucks for the sake of Christianity.
Okay, well, I disavow Starbucks with you as well.
Nice. Right on, man.
That's all I have for you. You guys always talking about such serious stuff. I thought I'd lighten it up a little.
I appreciate it. Luke in Colorado, thank you for calling, man. Call again sometime.
All right, I enjoy the show. Keep up the good work.
Sounds good. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. And happy Men's History Month, everybody. Speaking of men, before I get back to the calls, guys, I want to share with you some of the news going on in the world. Look at that beautiful scenery from GMR. Terrible. I'm saying terrible because it's mess. It's mess. So, Commie Nonsense Network was all excited because Trump fell for fake news. And who cares if Trump fell for fake news? Or something. Trump posts a fake images. Oh, my bad. Hang on, guys. Bring. Fake images of AI images of Taylor Swift and Swifties, falsely suggesting that he has the singer's support. Whoa. And of course, we all know that Taylor Swift has come out as a liberal, allegedly. Posted on her Instagram. I should have censored that, but I can't. T. Swift has yet to endorse any presidential candidate this election cycle, according to Commie Nonsense Network, as of this past Monday, the 19th. That's this past Monday, right? Yeah. Wow. It's already the 22nd. It's already Thursday. Trump posted, "I accept," on his Truth Social. And so here is the post. So, shock, says Amuse on X. After the cancellation of the T. Swift concert being targeted by ISIS, Swifties have determined they want a strong leader in the White House. Because there was an averted terror attack, allegedly, on Taylor Swift concerts in, where was that? Austria or somewhere? Where was that? I forget where that was. Swifties, which is fans of Taylor Swift. She's a singer, guys. She used to be a country music, pop country, cute little singer gal. And now she's turned pop and degenerate, all friendly with the blacks and vicious and liberal. But anyway, they've determined they want a strong leader in the White House. The Swifties for Trump movement is real. And part of it is real, but these images are all AI pictures. And you can kind of tell because the pictures are like too perfect. And the lighting is too perfect. So it just doesn't look right, you know? Look at that. I mean, look at that. Just doesn't look right. So those are obviously fake. Satire reads this line. Swifties for Trump. Swifties turn into Trump after ISIS foiled after ISIS's foiled Taylor Swift concert. Or ISIS foiled their Taylor Swift concert. Blah, blah, blah. My bad. And so LOL, says Amuse a little bit later. That was posted the 17th. On the 18th, Amuse posted, LOL, real Donald Trump shared my post. I accept. Isn't that cute? Even though it says satire. He might not have caught that. And he says, programming note, as you may assume from my handle, X handle, Amuse, he does things that are amusing. From time to time, I'll use satire to make a point just to get to laugh. When I do, I'll mark it satire in 2 places, satire tag on the graphic and the alt text. I don't see any alt text over here. And I'm logged in as Hake, I think. Yeah, see, I'm logged in as Hake. Follow the Hake report on X. So I don't see any alt tag. Maybe Trump doesn't have your little app, your little X app. Maybe you used a computer. I could be wrong. Anyway, see, he circled satire. He's protecting himself from getting shut down because Trump fell for the fake news. He is a boomer after all. But CNN had to redo their little article over here because look at this. One of the AI manipulated images depicts Taylor Swift as Uncle Sam with the text, Taylor wants you to vote for Donald Trump. Oh, I didn't see that one. That's funny. Yeah, Vienna is in Austria. G'day, mate. Just kidding, kids. Austria is not Australia. So after the publication of this article, an editor for a website, Wisconsin Right Now, reached out to Commie Nonsense Network to say she took 2 photos that Trump posted at his rally in Racine, Wisconsin in June. Jessica McBride said the women in 2 of the photos, the only 2 photos that weren't generated by AI, is named Jenna Piwawarczyk. What a name. I know of so many Swifties who have conservative values and many, many more who have reached out. That's a millennial word. Reached out. You get fined $100 by Bill O'Reilly for saying reached out. To express their support and appreciation for the Swifties for Trump movement. See, the movement is real, said this gal in a statement provided by Wisconsin News Now. By focusing more on the AI photos than on the real person in the photo that Trump shared, I think the media are missing an opportunity to recognize that all the millions of Taylor Swift fans, of course, there will be many who support Trump and conservative values and also love her music. We exist. We are real. That's right. This 19-year-old gal, I think she's 19. So, boom, in your face. I think this woman said, yeah, look at this. Wisconsin Right Now posted this. A statement from Jenna, something, said something about working hard. We're a young demographic, blah, blah, blah. Taylor and Trump share their work ethic and accomplishment of the American dream. Both worked incredibly hard to get to where they are today. That's right. And demonstrate how American free market and pursuit of happiness can lead to great success. A Trump presidency is the best option for women and young people in 2024. That's right. His tough on-crime policies keep women safe and criminals off the streets. Except for when he does the First Step Act. But still, I'm for him, obviously. College students like me worried about getting jobs, paying for groceries, getting our first house. I support Trump for many reasons, but first on the list is because of his economy. Oh, really? First on my list is because of his realness. This isn't new to me, blah, 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 blah. Jenna Piskur. Oh, and look at this gal. See? Taylor Swift, Swifties for Trump. Boom. In your face. She's for Trump. And she's not AI. Even though she has this name. Piwawarczyk. Somebody help me out with that pronunciation. Boom. So there you go. Trump accepts, by the way. Because he loves the ladies. And not all Taylor Swift fans are women anyway. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. All right. So thank you, Right on. Nice. Back to some calls, and then we'll keep it moving, okay? I want to keep it moving. Over on in Texas, Hayden wants to talk about the DNC. Hayden, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
Going well.
I actually want to. So it's not just about the DNC. I wanted to talk. I want to tackle a lot today, but before I say that, some of the Democrats in your chat suggested I'm taking amphetamines.
Because you're so energetic.
Well, that I'm so energetic. I want to tackle so much, but I want you to get along with your calls. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah,
they're suggesting that I'm taking amphetamines, so just to put that out there. Anyways, I wanna wish you a happy Black August. Have you heard of Black August before?
I have not.
Yeah. Black August is it's honoring black political prisoners. Is a prison-based holiday started by the Black Lives Matter movement. Black August.
Wow, terrible.
Yeah, so I know you would appreciate that, me saying Black August. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know they're not proud of admitting they have that kind of holiday. So I just want to put that out there. That's hilarious.
A month-long commemoration that honors black freedom fighters and political prisoners, especially those who died in the struggle for black liberation, either at the hands of U.S. authorities or in prison. Or how about the ones who committed suicide or died by suicide, if you want to say it the woman way? Interesting.
Yep.
When did they start this whole thing? Last year?
Probably in 2012. Who knows?
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is they don't want to talk about it because your black callers they call it on the show. They don't want to talk about it. They'll talk about BLM and how superior that movement is, but they refuse to bring up Black August because they're honoring prisoners. It's a prison-based holiday.
Right. Interesting.
I just can't even fathom that. And then in July, I'm going to get as fast as possible, I promise. In July, BLM started Black Mental Health Month, but they stretched it out to the other minority races, starting the National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Can you believe that?
You know, because I'm not surprised because it's like a woman's feminist mama spirit thing. And a lot of,
exactly.
I think liberals are per capita more mentally on medication and all that stuff. Women too, per capita, are more into that stuff. And I'm using per capita because it's the stats bear it out in addition to common experience.
Oh yeah, you're right on with that. 100%.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I am so happy for you. Handled that call yesterday with that Ronnie and Ohio guy so well. Him spewing all that misinformation about how good MLK was, and then all he was doing was bashing Trump the entire time, and honestly comparing him to MLK. How did you feel about that?
I think that MLK is dwarfed by the likes of a giant called Donald J. Trump, a giant in character and American heroism. But there,
right.
You know, a lot of us are brainwashed to like MLK, and Ronnie from Ohio is an intellectual. He said that he loved reading Booker T. Washington's, listening to or reading Booker T. Washington's debates with that one evil communist guy, W.E.B. Du Bois, the one who forsook America. And so I think that he falls for some of the intellectual arguments, and he kind of gets lost to Lin Yen Chin's point and to JLP's point. He gets lost in his thoughts about what about this, what about that, what about this, what about that, and so he doesn't really stick to a real point.
Do you feel that they're brainwashed, or they do this? I believe that they really do know the truth, and they just hate this country and society so much that they're willing to lie and do whatever it takes to destroy this country. Do you feel the same way, or do you genuinely believe that they're just brainwashed into believing, like, for example, MLK was a good person?
Well, I don't know. I think that a lot of us were brainwashed to think MLK was a good person. And some people, even after having read his stuff or seen how he acted, how he behaved in video footage from back then. Some of us are just sincerely blind. A lot of people do know the truth, and a lot of people have a tough time facing the truth. It's an interesting question whether you know that really that you're believing lies or not. It's an interesting question. There's a definite refusal to acknowledge and welcome the truth that happens in human beings for sure. But I don't know.
I would say, just based off of my opinion, of course, I would say the majority of the colored races know the reality, know the truth. They're just wanting to push the lie to confuse mainly the whites. That's why you see a lot of white Democrats, white progressives today, is because they're wanting to push a false narrative and just like the whole Kamala Harris situation. She didn't even make it at. She was like the last. She didn't even make it out of Iowa, and what was it, 2016, 2020, whatever that was. 2020,
yeah.
But yeah, 2020, and then now they're making it sound like that she's literally the next MLK, per the good stuff people want to think about him.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't think that Ronnie from Ohio will vote for Kamala Harris. I don't think he's that far gone. And I would be I would be surprised even if Joe from Phoenix voted for Kamala Harris. Though, as blind as those guys can be, they're not going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think they'll come. Ronnie may even come around and vote for Trump. He may realize the scales may fall off his eyes, and he may realize Trump is the man for the job. Joe, I don't think so. Joe, I would be surprised. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, they both sound like never Trumpers to me.
Yeah, I know he does.
It must just be me.
No, I say it kind of wishful thinking, but it's possible. Ronnie has come a long way. He's come around a bit.
Yeah,
he appreciates. He loves JLP. He loves Hake, and he's not trying to take me down the way that Joe from Phoenix is. He's not like that.
Yeah. I never really heard him speak before. Anyway, I want to keep pushing. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. So all the garbage is happening in Chicago right now, the DNC and all the Palestine protesters going on outside. Does that support what I was saying the last time I called, that Chicago is on fire, or it's in the process of becoming on fire? Them boarding up the businesses and making it look all good for the DNC and stuff. Does that support what I was saying when I said that Chicago is on fire, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it does, because Chicago is home. It welcomes mess. It welcomes mess. You know how in Florida, Ron DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis, is he still governor? I don't even really heard about him or from him.
He is.
But anyway,
he's doing a great job down there.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because he ran a poor campaign against Trump. But I appreciate him, and I like that he and the local people over there, for the most part, Black Lives Matter riots not welcome. They did not allow the insurrection to happen in Florida, by and large. So Chicago, not the case. They are for crime. Otherwise, they would have dealt with their crime. They're for socialism, obviously. They have a socialist mayor. And not a white-friendly type of socialist either, by the way. It's evil. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Johnson.
He is doing literally nothing about it. And what we're watching is what Chicago is really like. They try to prep it up and make it look all nice for the DNC and stuff. We're seeing right now what Chicago is really like, all the crime and nastiness. 56 were arrested since the day the DNC started. 56 people arrested.
Wow.
And
I heard Trump posted that that such and such number have died since since the DNC has been going. And I don't know what he means by that, but in Chicago itself, or with these protests and violence breaking out from the protests or what? Must mean with Chicago crime in general.
I mean, they act like absolute animals. Burning the American flag and saying, "This is what we think of your rag." They called it a rag. This is what we think of your rag, and just lighting it on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, this is animal behavior, and that mayor is doing absolutely nothing about it. And the left is wanting this to happen. They want this to spread throughout the entire U.S. if Kamala Harris is elected. This is exactly what they want. They do not believe in law or order.
Right.
They want absolute chaos. And I mean, you saw in 2020 all the Democrat cities literally on fire, literally under Democrat governors. So I mean, this is, if she gets elected again, which I really don't believe she is, but if she were to, this is what every single state is going to look like in the United States. Every single one of them.
Yeah, that's what she wants to push, redistribute the crime and the ghettos.
And releasing those inmates and stuff.
Yeah.
Pardoning them.
Evil, cackling Kamala Harris. She's evil.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
It's terrible.
Last thing I want to talk about, them Atlanta removing that Confederate. You know, was it just a casual Confederate, or was it like a Confederate was like Robert E. Lee? Was it one of those, or was it just a common Confederate?
I don't know.
They removed.
You're talking about, what are you talking about? In Decatur Square, Atlanta, Georgia in 2020? I don't know what incident you're talking about. Oh, August 2024, a 12-foot bronze statue of civil rights icon, so-called evil guy, John Lewis, was installed in place of the 2020 taking down of Confederate monument called the Lost Cause, erected in 1908 by the United Daughters of the Confederacy. So it was just in general a Confederate monument called the Lost Cause. So evil, huh?
That was. I mean, they replaced. Mark said it perfectly. Jesus with the devil. John Lewis is such. I mean, he's your typical Negro, you know. I mean, just so.
Where'd you get that word? Where'd you get that word?
Negro?
Yeah.
Should I redact it?
No, I'm not saying you to redact it. I'm just wondering where you got it.
Oh, Hake, I live in Texas.
Oh, okay. So you got it from Texans, or did you get it from my caller, Mark?
I'm sure Mark said it plenty of times, but I got it. I mean, I'm from Texas.
Okay. That's funny.
Anyway, but
yeah, John Lewis he's worse than the typical black, because he's one of those black he's like a typical black politician. Just a phony.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
To me personally, I mean, he seems like the typical. I mean, the only decent black caller you've had on your show is William from California. I mean, he's the only decent one.
Dang.
So, I mean, and the only one that I've seen. But the fact that Joe from Phoenix supports these kind of people and says he's a Republican is an absolute joke.
Right.
I mean, John Lewis voting for Obama in 2008 and then 2012. I mean, it's an absolute joke that he even that he's even allowed to say that we're Republican. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah. Terrible. What a mess.
Yeah. So this whole dismantling of the Confederate statues and stuff, it's all temporary. It's all under the Harris administration. And
no, I think it is temporary in like the long run, but we don't know whether America will ever come back, and I seriously doubt that it will.
It's going to take some time if it does. For sure.
Yeah, because there's a whole unbrainwashing that needs to happen, and that has to happen probably across multiple generations. Because there's stuff that we accept. Right. There's stuff that Christians in general accept that don't make any sense at all. You may have caught on the Jason Lee Peterson show them talking about women pastors and how 60-80% of Christians don't really have a problem with women pastors, so-called. And so there's a lot of brainwashing even among many of them are conservative Christians, supposedly. So
It's disgusting and
Yeah.
so twisted.
It really is.
I mean, the order has gone so far left in the past 60 to 65, only 60 to 65 years, and this much damage has been done to our country and society, really.
I say that
Absolutely
it's really
horrible.
been more than just the 60 or 80 years, because something set up for the civil rights movement to make a fall. You know, because this so-called civil rights movement was like an axe that came in and broke down a tree that was already teetering. It was already messed up. Just like when Obama came in, he was another axe that broke down another tree or branch that was already weak and ready to fall. So I think that these events have been like happening over many, many generations. All that stuff. It's terrible.
Just hypothetically, this is completely hypothetical. Do you see it? So, just in an imaginary world, if we got all these coloreds out and then restricted women, the right to vote and all these, promotions of power and stuff, do you see our society going back to a normal conservative society if those things were to happen? Just in an imaginary world, would you see our society going back to normal if we push all the colored filth out and then restricted women on their rights?
I don't think so, because you talk to even normal white men, they don't even get along. They're immature. They've taken on that evil, angry spirit and victimhood and infighting and bickering. So I think that there would be still there'd still be a weakness. I don't think that it would come back to order, even getting... Those things are evil. Those, the DEI and affirmative action and kissing up to the other races and being anti-racist and all that stuff and pro-woman and all that. Those things are evil, but those are not the root issue. We're still not getting to the root issue. The root issue, I think, is emotionalism, intellectualism, sin in the evil hearts of the people. And it's a folly for the white men to think that it's only the other races and the women, because the evil is in the white men as well, and they got to watch themselves. And more per capita do watch themselves, but even still, it's not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
They're so modernized now, and just brainwashed with this whole progressive mindset and stuff. It's really if it were to happen, it would take years to get back to the way things used to be. I mean, realistically, it hasn't even been that long.
There will be some generations that do well and generations that do horrible. Just like I don't know if you've ever read the Old Testament in the Bible. There were different kings who did great and different children of parents who did better than their parents, and then their children did worse again. So I think there's a lot of spoiling going on. The tough times may need to come back, but I wouldn't put my hope in getting this country back or getting the outer world right. We have to work on ourselves.
No, I mean, it really is going to take a lot of time to get our country back on track. But Hank, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to say, the other day when you were booing the black union workers, that video you showed at the beginning of your show, that was absolutely hilarious. I was literally on the floor rolling, laughing when you were doing that. You just boo, sit down.
That's what Mr. Pink said. That's why I put that clip out. I appreciate that. Thank you for the feedback.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
It's good. It's great talking with you, Hayden. Appreciate you, man. Careful.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day now.
Yeah, be careful out there.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye. Wow. Okay, before I get back to calls, hang tight, callers. There's some news that I would like to plow through, okay? That okay with you? We'll see what I can do, okay? So I covered the Swifties for Trump. You're welcome. I don't know if that was anything good for you. But Emhoff, speaking of the white, or not normal white, so-called men being lame, JLP covered this a bit yesterday. Emhoff uses his convention speech to show a personal side of cackling Kamala Harris. Her empathy is her strength, he says. Empathy? Empathy is not a strength. That's a liberal word for replacing love. Empathy means, I think, putting yourself in other people's shoes, imagining how you would feel if you were in their position and stuff like that, and feeling for them. Empathy, feeling for them, something like that. So this is an article by Samantha Waldenberg. Nice. Look at that face. I'm afraid to zoom in further. I might be able to do it, though. Look at that face. Samantha Waldenberg. A scrunched smile. Anyway, here's that guy. He's an interesting face, doesn't he? Shout out to Doug Emhoff. Maybe we should call him Doug Harris. Cackling Kamala Harris's husband. Or is he actually a husband? A husband does husbandry of the wife. He doesn't seem to be doing good husbandry of his wife, in my opinion. The second gentleman. How embarrassing. Lord have mercy. What a disgrace. Second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. So, he said some things. She stands up to bullies, just like my parents taught me to. Hey, I actually believe that his parents did teach him to stand up to bullies. He has to have somewhat of a strong personality. By strong personality, I mean just like forceful. You know how a lot of Jews, shout out to the Jews, they have like agreeable personalities, but they're also tough to work with. I mean, it's in a good toughness way. Even the liberals, I think. Yeah, gotta be. Think about how successful, like, in a worldly sense that Hollywood is. They make a lot of money. They put on big productions. You can't be just totally incompetent. They're competent evil people, you know? So, right on for that, I guess. But she likes to see people do well, but hates when they're treated unfairly. Is that why her employees, I don't know this backstory, but she has a big turnaround, a high turnover rate, a revolving door of staff, according to what I heard. That's the rumor. That's the gossip. Hake is gossiping. But that's what it's reported in the media, I heard. That she can't really she might be tough to work with. But, you know, what kind of person would work for her? The kind of person who's weak. And maybe she's just tough and they're weak, you know? But she's not, maybe she doesn't have that high verbal IQ of Jews to be, friendly with you. Make you feel like you want to work for them, you know? Whatever. She believes that, but that's beside the point. She believes that work requires a basic curiosity in just how people are doing. Her empathy is her strength. That's lame. Trump is very empathetic, unfortunately. Emhoff married Kamala Harris 2 years ago, and she never changed her name. Kamala, I mean. 10 years ago, noted the anniversary will fall on Thursday. You know, I was telling you about Benifer. They divorced. And I don't like the term Benifer. Let me tell you this story briefly. Who's that gal? J-Lo? Jennifer Lopez? I disavow the J-Lo name. Although it sounds cool, but she filed for divorce on their anniversary, according to what I thought I read. That is messed. Well, I mean, whatever. For a man, like, you don't want to get a divorce. You don't care whether it falls on the anniversary or not. But that woman, she made it significant. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, back to Emhoff. It should be Kamala Emhoff, except she's not his real wife, because he already made a family. Blah, 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 public service. Lord. Kamala has fought against anti-Semitism, all one word, no hyphen, and all forms of hate her whole career. Well, she hasn't won, because she herself is a hateful person. She supports Black Lives Matter, a movement of hate. And she's a liberal. An ideology of hate. She's the one who encouraged me as second gentleman. You call yourself that, man. To take up that fight, which is so personal to me. The first Jewish spouse of a president or vice president. That's Emhoff, spoke about his faith. He has faith? Noting over the past decade, Kamala has connected me more deeply to my faith, even though it's not the same as hers. Those Jewish people, they don't mind. I don't know, man. That's why I respect, who's that? Jared Kushner. He made Trump's daughter switch to become a Jewish person, at least. Let's not get sidetracked. He thanked his former wife, Kerstin, Kerstin, Emhoff, who was in the VIP box. Oh, he put her in the VIP box. A three-headed parenting machine. Kerstin Emhoff, cackling Kamala Harris, and Doug Emhoff, referred by his daughter Ella, mildly attractive gal with tattoos, a misfit. Shout out to the misfits. Calls them a three-headed parenting machine of hell from hell. Red Doug signs were passed out. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, so that's him. You guys want to hear a little bit of his speech? Let's see if I can get it to go.
Hello.
Be quiet. Let me turn this down. That's the one, right? Ears, cover your ears for you guys. Let me see if I can get this to go. Let's see if it'll play. Yes. And you heard this.
Hello to my big, beautiful, blended family up there.
Lame.
I love
Look at that
you
girl.
so much.
She's
Aren't
kinda
you
cute.
Proud of Cole? Wow.
Cole is his son.
And a special shout out to my mother. I see you.
See, he's charming.
My mother is the only person in the whole world who thinks Kamala is the lucky one for marrying me.
See, he's funny. Shout out to the Jews.
And to Kamala, who, well, we just saw where she is.
Oh.
She's out on the trail, listening to and talking with voters.
Sorry, I had a
Honey,
dilemma.
I can't wait for you to come back to Chicago because we're having a great time here.
Honey? Shut up, Doug Emhoff. Look at that.
I love you so much. I'm so proud of how you're stepping up for all of us. But that's who she is.
Boo.
Wherever she's needed, however she's needed, Kamala rises to the occasion. And she did it for me and our family. And now that the country needs her, she's showing you what we already know. She's ready to lead.
Weak.
She brings both joy and toughness to this task, and she will be a great president we will all be proud of.
Proud of.
Now, I'm the son of two Brooklynites, Mike and Barb. They've been together almost 70 years. My dad worked in the shoe business in Manhattan.
Nice. Shout out.
And he moved our family out to New Jersey. Where's New Jersey?
He's cracking. I like that.
See you out there when I was a little kid. And in a lot of ways,
Anyway, I don't care.
I had a typical Jersey suburban childhood.
In a lot of ways. Nice. Good for you, Doug Emhoff. Isn't he charming? Somewhat. Anyway, I just wanted to remind you guys of that. Oh, wrong person. Boing. There I am. That's evil, lame-o Doug Emhoff. I'm not a misfit for having tattoos, Hake. It's normal. It's nowadays, I guess, if you want to call it that. Shout out to the tattooed normal people. Let's keep it moving, though. Manuel in California on the line here. Manuel, thank you for calling and holding there, man. What's up?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing well. It's good to hear from you.
Nice. Damn, just since you talked about tattoos, I wish I never got my tattoo now.
See? Oh, is that because I said it or what?
No.
Okay.
For years.
Yeah.
For years I wish I never got it. I just see it's like, I don't know. You're trying to hide or bring attention to yourself when you don't even want it.
Yeah, I know. I know a guy from my high school. He was in my PE class. He called me Hank, but he didn't even know my name was Hake. But he had a tattoo, and he would get grumpy when people asked about it. He's like, I don't like people asking me about it. I'm like, well, why'd you get it? Exactly. Conflicted people,
I got
man.
it for myself.
Yeah, exactly. The vanity.
You got it for yourself to show off to everybody. You know?
Yep.
That's the reason I did it, because everyone had them. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a bigger one on my back. Now I'm like, terrible. Should never have done that.
True. That's funny, though.
Yeah. So this union thing, before I get into that, what are those missions that are on the coast called in California?
I think they're called missions. Are you talking about the old school buildings that are called missions?
Right. But what does it start with?
San something or whatever?
The Spanish missions?
Yeah, Spanish missions. What is it?
Yeah, whenever I hear these Mexicans saying, oh, California was Mexico, I always bring that up.
It was
why are they called the Mexican missions?
Right. Oh, they're called Spanish missions. Oh, man. Good point, man. Are you Spaniard or Mexican or what, Manuel? Because you have a...
Whoa. Can't be doxing me like that.
Oh, okay, my bag. Yeah, don't answer that.
I'm half Portuguese and half Mexican.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I know a lot, not a whole lot about Mexican history, but it was Spanish. It was the Spaniards that took over Mexico, and then I think we helped the Mexicans fight off the Spaniards, and then we got into it with the Mexicans after that. But I think the Spanish ones when we took over California and all that.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I hear. They say that all over right here in the valley. I live in the Central Valley, and I always hear people saying how it was Mexico, and I'm like, dude, it wasn't Mexico. Like it was Spaniards' land.
Right.
You guys might have had it for like 5 years, but same thing with the Indians. Like
I heard that they might have had it possibly even 50 years, but maybe not. You might be right. It might be 5.
5, 10, 100. It doesn't matter. When you lose a war, you lose land.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
get over it.
Yeah. Although they are kind of taking it back because demographics is destiny, for better or worse. They're not taking it back and making it better, though.
Right. They're letting all the illegals in here in California, and then eventually they're just going to be like, well, this is pretty much Little Mexico now, so.
Right.
Oh, well.
I figure it'll still stay America, probably, but just America is going to be worse. As it already is. Anyway.
I bet you they'll sell out to Mexico somehow.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. It'll be interesting times.
Gavin Newsom will say something how we can't survive without Mexican workers and the economy, so we need to make a deal with Mexico, and it'll be called Calexico or something like that at the end of it.
Yeah. Yep. Possibly.
Terrible. This whole union thing. So when I did welding, they used to try and get me to join the union all the time. But I know every union is different, but the welders union, so if I were to join that union, I cannot do any type of welding outside of that union. And so,
wow.
Say from like October to February, there's no work in the union. I can't do any job that has to do with anything with welding at all whatsoever, or they can kick me out of the hall.
Wow.
So to me, all you're doing is paying someone else to find you a job.
Yep.
And I can just go do that myself. And like even outside of the union, I was making more money than them. I get it. You know, you get your benefits and all that, but you're pretty much paying for someone else to go bid jobs for you to get commission on bidding on that job, and you're still paying him out of your own pocket while he's making money on the side.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're stealing from Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
Technically, because now all the people working are paying for the retirees. Well, then once you start getting less workers in, the retirees still get paid, but you, as a worker that gets older, if you have less workers behind you, you're not getting paid. But yet the people on top are still getting paid. The union bosses and your reps and all that still get paid regardless. They don't take a hit on any of that.
Right.
And I don't even think they have to pay union dues because they are like a separate entity to the union. And they have their own bank sometimes. So now you're putting your money into their bank and they're accumulating interest off your money and you're not even really getting any of it back because they're just lending it over.
What a scam.
Yeah.
I think they keep some people fat and happy and spoiled enough that they keep going. They must keep some people spoiled. From what I hear, there are some people who are spoiled in the unions. My opinion, I call it spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
Don't resent me, union workers.
I worked with this one union worker one time, and every hour, it was over 100 degrees. Every hour, he's like, well, in the union, if it's over 100 degrees, we need to take a 10-minute break every hour.
Every hour, a 10-minute break. Wow.
Yeah, well, the guy that I was working for fired him that day. He's like, we don't do none of that client stuff around here. Either you go to work or you don't.
Nice.
That's the problem with union workers. They get lazy.
Yeah.
They get cushed. Like, they get pampered. Oh, I don't want to work overtime. That's not in our contract. Like my cousin, he was in the operators union, and he wouldn't even pick up a shovel.
Wow.
No, I'm not a laborer. I'm an operator. I can't touch shovels.
The mindset.
You're that lazy.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And that to me is what led to the downfall, because now, GM had their own way of paying people and their own HR department, which is just a glorified union. And then all of a sudden the union comes, and now you're paying two different people to manage you. You're paying GM to manage you. You're paying the union to manage you. Well, GM gets tired of dealing with it. It's fine. You guys deal with it, and we'll just ship all our stuff out of state and go somewhere else.
What a mess.
And then they want to blame everyone else. No, it's corporate greed. Well, when you tax the hell out of corporate, all they're going to do is pass the tax down to you,
right?
Or they'll just leave and go somewhere else so they don't got to pay that tax.
True. Yeah. I know. You heard about all this corporate greed buzzword in the DNC and some of the first day speeches or so. And I'm like, what about your own greed? What about human being greed? You think you're not greedy? You're greedy. So they have a boogeyman that's always somebody else and not themselves.
Right. Like I've told you about I got my own little rentals and stuff like that. So I'd be considered a corporate person. I got corporate greed. Well, when you try and tax me, say, okay, we're going to charge you guys 10% extra this year, or like they're passing a rental thing, like, oh, you renters, we're going to give you a break. We're going to charge them an extra 10%. Well, all I'm going to do is pass that tax to my renter, or just pass it down.
That's right.
Because that's just how taxes work. You pass it down. He who creates the money doesn't have to pay the tax.
Right.
So when someone else is creating the money, all they're doing is passing the tax down to you.
That's what
everything else. Walmart's more expensive.
That's what Kamala's idea about price fixing on food and different things is going to do. That's just going to make them. It's just going to either put people out of business, or else everything else is going to go up. It's a mess.
Force a government buyout again.
Yeah.
That's why Boeing and GM, they're no longer doing their own thing.
Good point.
GM knows that electric is going to bring them down. Boeing knows that DEI, obviously their doors keep flying off, is going to bring them down. But they're owned by the government because they're bailed out by the government.
Wow,
and that's why you have to abide by the government. Jesse always talks about private business. You have no control. You can't tell a private business what to do.
Right.
Well, the government buys you out, you're no longer private. That's why they get away with all this DEI stuff and government pushing these gender roles and all that, because they're no longer a private company. And so they're little by little trying to break down every private company. Like in California, the rental situation, watch. There's going to be a government buyout on houses, and it's going to be a mess. You're not going to be able to pick and choose who you put into your rentals anymore.
Yep.
Everything will be Section 8.
That's evil, man. That's talk about self-destruction.
Yeah.
What a
That's
shame.
why I tell people, like, you guys need to learn how money really works and real economics and be an individual, because you're never going to be satisfied. Like, well, I guess you can be satisfied working for somebody else, but you'd be more satisfied by creating with your own hands, you know?
Right.
Having someone else create something for you, you know, you're just going to be jealous of it down the road.
True. Wow.
Right on. I'll let you get to it then.
Thank you for the lesson, Manuel in California. Hope people heard it. Thanks, man.
All right. Bye.
Bye. What a mess. Okay, I'm going to try to, we're nearing the top of the hour. I do have super chats to read, but I want to plow through a few more calls at least, okay? If that's all right. Alex in California is on the line. Alex, how you doing, man?
Hakey Bear.
Hey.
What's cracking?
Not much. How about you?
Not a whole lot.
Sweet.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about how American men are all simps and they submit to their women.
Okay.
So two things that inspired this call. I have 3 friends right now that are going through divorces. And that call from Ronnie yesterday kind of got me a little wound up.
Oh, yeah. Because he's talking about women having the right to abortion, particularly in the case of
something
rape.
about self-defense, like killing the baby equals self-defense. That was a bizarre one.
Yeah.
I never heard that one before. Yeah, basically, in my opinion, if you're married in this modern day and age, you're basically a simp to your woman and you submit to her. I don't see very many American men, no matter what color, age, or anything, being leaders.
Right.
I see a lot of happy wife, happy life. Oh, my wife says I can't do this. You know, I have a few musicians friends who had to put their drum set in the closet so they could sit on the couch and watch Netflix with their wife, with the baby on their lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been single since 2016, and that's basically because I've been in a series of pretty terrible relationships before that. But I was very aware when Trump came into office that made like a huge shift in women, and they all kind of lost their mind. I don't know if you've noticed that too at all.
They definitely went crazy. The haters of Trump definitely went crazy. But even the Trump supporter women are a bit obnoxious. So, yeah. Interesting.
Like there's no soft, modest, quiet, like, what do you say? Pithy? Is that the word?
Pithy. Pithy, a few words. A woman of few words, you mean?
Yeah. Like we don't have that anymore. And I've just noticed that with my 3 friends that I've talked to who've gotten their divorces. It's pretty much the same thing with all of them. They're married to these aggressive bulldogs who don't want to act like a woman.
Yeah.
And I've been, like I said, I've been single since Trump came out. Because the girl I was with just lost her mind.
Oh, it's interesting how world events affect people's minds. Because it doesn't really have anything to do with her, but it affected her mind. It's wild.
Well, another thing that I've learned, and maybe you can relate to me with this. I don't know. I'm probably going to get roasted in the chat. But, I think as Americans and men, we have a huge issue with lust.
Yeah.
We like to justify lust. And now that I've been away from, doing that for a long time now, I can see how evil it is.
Yeah, guys would do anything for lust. Meatloaf was wrong. Meatloaf was talking about lust, not love. The singer of that song.
And it made me realize that what I thought was me being in love with these women was actually lust.
Yep.
But I was too young to understand that.
It's interesting.
And I think I've hit that point. if I'm getting it right, it seems like you're probably at that point too, probably for a while now. But I don't see most or any men really agreeing with that. You know, I get called like gay or incel or whatever if I talk about that.
Right. Which is funny because the gays are the biggest simps and kiss-ups to women, period. But anyway.
Well, the gays are the most immoral with their sexuality and their lust.
Indeed. That's true.
So how does that make us incels or gay or whatever? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think I like hate women. I just don't think I guess I don't respect them or anything. Like I don't find them interesting. I find them annoying. I'm a metalhead. When I see girls playing metal, like guitars and singing, it's so cringe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I
mean,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I understand where you're coming from with that. I can relate, and I can relate to all of that you just said. And it's a shame. I don't know if they realize that it's actually true. I think that a lot of women will jump to you hate men, and a lot of males will jump to you hate men, rather than pause and ponder the reality of what you're saying. That no, they are out of place. They are out of line. They're out of order, trying to be tough and not being ladies. And they don't
Bulldogs.
See themselves. Yeah. But you can't force people to see themselves.
The other statement I kind of resent is you'll hear women say like a promiscuous woman, they'll be like, oh, well, you guys are always chasing tail. Like, I'm just acting like a man. But in my opinion, I'm a man. I'm not shackled by lust. So how does that make you act like a man?
Yeah.
By being promiscuous, you know what I mean? And we're not, as men, we're not doing any justice or helping that by being little hound dogs ourselves, you know?
True. And they're hurting themselves worse than men hurt themselves in terms of physically in their lives, in their bodies, by wearing themselves down, trying to play man and being loose like that. Because like it or not, guys on some level get away with that more, on a physical level seemingly, get away with that more. That's just the nature of nature, you know?
Right, but at some point it would be cool for men to reflect on that and realize, hey, like maybe I'm acting like a gay guy,
right?
Being all immoral with my sexuality.
That's right. It's not morally straight to be immoral sexually, even with women.
Yeah, and just to wrap it up, like at the DNC, they had that neuter and murder truck.
Yeah,
for all the women and the men. I just thought that, like, how much more evil can you get? They talk about like the percentage of abortions being mainly because of rape and all this stuff. So they had like 20 to 30 babies murdered the other day. So I guess all those girls were raped. We're supposed to believe.
Yeah, I know. They've lowered the definition. I got a call from a gal the other day who told me off air that they've changed the definition of R so badly that R wording is no longer forcible R wording. Anyway.
It was like making a remark or looking at someone or something.
Yeah.
Like
Indeed.
Yeah, I just thought yesterday when Ronnie was calling and making these weird statements I've never heard about, like protecting the women and self-defense by killing the baby. Like I think someone's got to kind of knock some sense into that guy. That was nuts.
Yeah, the Lord will do it. I have faith.
Yeah. Well, I guess my closing statement would be for men. You know, you guys can call me incel or gay, whatever you want, but you guys are acting like that when you're having sex out of wedlock, all crazy like a stray dog. You know,
yeah,
maybe it's time we should,
you're right.
Reflect on that and how lust has pretty much destroyed our society in America.
It's true. They are perverted, and it's a perversion to be into sex like that, and to be like Joel was saying. Joel, I don't know if you catch his show, Joel Friday TV, but he said
I did
that
yesterday.
He said a few days ago, maybe last week, that even getting married, a lot of maybe most of the S that you have in marriage or in reality is perverted too. It's lustful.
Right.
It's not like this. It's this pure thing. It may be in the right order. You waited to get married and all that stuff, but the lust is still there, and it's a worship of the woman's body, or whatever.
What do you think would it take for men to wake up from this?
Pausing to look at themselves, to check themselves. I think that if a man can just pause, as Jesse says, let the truth catch up with you, that could start a nice change. And hearing...
Like, do we need like an Andrew Tate type person to come out and say, hey guys, like, keep it in your pants. Like, you're destroying society?
Maybe a little bit, because somebody telling the truth unabashedly and in the right way can help snap you out of it if you're ready to hear the truth. Yeah. So I think your call might help, and JLP's message, and
I'm probably getting roasted in chat right now. That's fine though.
Yeah, come on, man said, well, I can't say this word. He said something, blanking chicks is gay, says James Hake. He's making fun of it. But anyway, yeah, don't worry about what they're saying.
We're all blind in certain ways, right?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So I think patience with them, not judging them, but saying it and not backing down from it is a good way to help them, possibly, and just living it. And don't worry about whether they are going to accept it or not. I don't think Jesus really concerned himself too much. He just said, with ears to hear, let him hear. Nice.
All righty. Well, that was my thought for the day, and I hope the rest of the day goes smoothly for you, Hake.
Appreciate it, Alex in California. Great call. Take care.
Have a good one.
Happy Men's History Month.
Likewise.
Bye. Right on. Nice call. Mark in Los Angeles, California is on the line here. Mark, thank you for calling and holding there, man. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Doing fine.
I gotta admit that I made a mistake about maybe a year ago on your show. I said that the Shroud of Turin was gotten because Veronica wiped Jesus' face when he fell.
Okay.
But I was wrong. The shroud is not that cloth. And the reason I bring it up, if you allow me to, if you don't want me to, I won't, but if I'm allowed to read one chapter from the Bible, if you don't want me to, I won't. I can give you the verse and quote, and you could read it for yourself, whatever you want.
Can you get to just the point verse rather than the whole chapter? The point part of the passage?
Just a paragraph.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 29, verse 59-60. Then Joseph of Arimathea took the body of Jesus and wrapped it in a new linen cloth. He put Jesus' body in a new tomb that he had dug in the wall of a rock. Then he closed the tomb by rolling a very large stone to cover the entrance. After he did this, he went away. Now, the shroud was the linen cloth that Jesus' body was wrapped in when he was after his crucifixion. It's been disputed, and our friend Jesse Lee Peterson didn't even know what I was talking about when I brought it up to him. Well, what I'm getting at is a group in Italy. I'm trying to get their name. Oh, it's the Institute of Crystallography of the National Research Council revealed that the Shroud of Turin was made or sewn together, however you want to put it, at the time of Jesus, and have authenticated the Shroud of Turin. Now, the reason I bring this up is because on the face cover of where Jesus was buried shows the features of a white man with long hair, a straight nose, small lips. He was of the Caucasian white race. So that should put an end to any confusion about what race Jesus was. Whether, you want to call him a Jew or a Gentile, by any measure, he was a white man, which in turn, and you may not agree with this, but in my view, that makes Christianity a white man's religion. Okay? So that's the fact. They just came out with this in the 1980s. They said that the shroud was not true, and I've heard you say that too, Hake. Nothing personal. I think you're a great man, but I did hear you say that you didn't believe the shroud was real. Well, these Italian scientists just disproved that. So that's the reason for the call. One of the reasons. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah,
I made a mistake about how it was obtained. It wasn't Veronica wiping his face. I'll admit I got that one wrong. I had to research it.
Okay.
It was, if you read that chapter, Matthew 27, verse 59, 60, it shows, it says that Jesus is wrapped in a linen cloth, and it covered his whole body, and when they recovered it, they saw that the imprint on the face cover was a white man.
All right.
Well, okay, I just thought you might have had something to say that. And then the other thing, real quick, this is hardly even worth mentioning, but since my name was brought up yesterday by that low IQ caller you get from Baltimore, I think I'm going to be sending you a 24-page book.
Nice.
And somehow he thinks that means that the book is about chasing balls and dogs and people at the kindergarten level to read. Well, that's maybe how he reads it, but no, the Constitution wasn't even 24 pages.
Based.
And I'd like to know, what was the last novel that Stephen, the low IQ guy, what was the last novel he read? Maybe you might want to ask him that if he calls.
Okay. Thank you, Mark, in Los Angeles.
God bless you. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Interesting call. Take care. Happy Men's History Month, by the way. William in California is on the line here. William, appreciate you hanging in there. What's up?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted, happy Men's History Month, and thank you, the callers. All the callers are really good today.
Nice. You're a Catholic. What do you think about that Shroud of Turin thing? Just out of curiosity, very briefly. If anything, do you think about it at all?
What is it again?
The Shroud of Turin supposedly has Jesus's facial imprint, I guess from blood on his face or something. And they can, Mark says that it's real, it's confirmed, authenticated, although Kevin Howe in the chat disagrees, and says that it indicates that it's a white or Jewish man.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. But, you don't sound like you're too into it at all.
No. Let me just say this. I respect what Mark is saying, and I do know what he's talking about. But I am Catholic, but I just get more into the heart, the spirit of
Me
heart.
too.
My spirit, how I was raised, how to respect and be godly. That's all. Catholics are accused of a lot of, statues and stuff, but I don't get into that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you, man. I don't think that any of this race of Jesus stuff really matters.
Yeah,
I think that the spirit is the issue.
And that's not combating anything that Mark says. It's all
right.
about
Yeah, I like Mark. Anyway.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to finish off what I was talking about yesterday so I don't be misunderstood. But I see it came up a few times today. And about what this state and this part of the country used to be. And I see a lot of people come to this country illegally.
Yeah.
And the first thing they say is, well, we're doing the work that you guys don't want to do. Or it used to be Mexico. And just called a few minutes ago, he's right. It was actually Spain.
Right.
And I kind of look at the thing that's going on in the Middle East the same way. Because Palestine, says this is ours. And the Jews were placed there after World War II. But then there's a lot of callers that call in that don't really understand that conflict. It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
And the 6-Day War is a good example. They pretty much kicked their butts, like 5 or 6 countries. They were surrounded, and they acquired all of that land, as you know, when you win the war, you acquire.
That's right. That's a fact.
Well, if Israel so bad, they gave it back eventually. If you noticed.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what JLP was talking about. He said they've given up so much land, and people are like, what?
Yeah.
They're not giving up land. They're taking land.
Right.
And
then they,
interesting.
And I mean, it's, you know, not to cut you off, but then
No, you're fine.
but every 6 years, 7, 8, 9 years, they like to get naked with a toothpick and go in the woods hunting for a bear.
Who's that?
All of those countries that want to do something to Israel.
Oh, okay.
Israel is a very, very powerful nation, military-wise.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean,
yeah.
And then you look. Mexico,
I mean, we
thing.
subsidize that. We help them out a lot.
Right.
But
Right. Now,
yeah, they're more
okay,
functional. Even Mark acknowledges that, and he's no fan of Israel and Jewish people in general, but he acknowledges that they're a more functional civilization that you can walk around and be relatively safe in than some of these other
Out there,
countries.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Mhm.
I don't know. I have no
then-
firsthand
and
knowledge.
and then you got the case of Mexico.
Yeah.
You're not going to see any of the United States enemies coming into that country, infiltrating them, doing any business, doing anything.
Oh, I mean, they kind of are, though, because China...
They kind of are, but they're not going to really get too out of hand with that. Because
Right.
America's not going to let that happen. And let's just be honest and let's just be realistic about that.
Yeah. China's... oh, yeah, because America's already so left-wing, and China is funding the left wing in Mexico, I heard. And so America is fine with that because America's pretty left-wing themselves. But Mexico...
Exactly.
Yeah, fair point.
I mean, if they wanted Mexico to be the 51st state, how hard would it be?
It'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. I asked the question, how hard would it be?
It would be a bit tough because we speak English. It would be a little bit tough, thanks to the Republicans.
Wait a minute. You're saying it would be hard for America if they
only because the American people would be conflicted about
they
it.
They do have a lot of Hispanic people here, and there's relatives that you do have that dynamic.
Yeah, and normal Americans are like, we don't want those people to be voters in our country. Imagine that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Let's say Mexico,
but we could annex it if we wanted, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, let's say Mexico says to us, it used to be Mexico, and shoot about 4,000 rockets over here.
Yeah.
It would be the 51st state.
Yeah,
So,
kind of like what Palestine is going to become Israel, maybe.
Well, a
Gaza,
lot of people
anyway.
don't want. I noticed that a lot of people, especially liberals, because they're out of their mind. Anybody that votes for a Democratic Party, you're just really, really stupid. Okay, look at how they never want to point out what started this, and the fact that you've done this for the last 60 years and it didn't work, and what started this, October 7th. Then they complain about. I've noticed they always say you support babies getting killed. Where I was trying to finish off that what we were talking about yesterday, that there are lots of babies getting killed in wars everywhere you have.
Yeah.
And
True.
There was some things going on because I think they just found the bodies of the last few hostages that they were looking for. And
oh no, it's not the last of them. Just they found 4 bodies.
More?
Yeah. Oh, there's I think there's like 109.
There's a lot more people missing. Yeah.
109 more, and many of them are believed dead. But there's 109 more, I think.
James, did you hear what was being done over the atrocities that were being committed over there? With the R word and 90-year-old women and breaking their pelvises, putting babies in ovens. They seem to like to jump over that.
I hadn't heard all that.
I've heard some
and I don't know.
things.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've looked at and found out some very horrible things, and nowhere is pretty.
Wouldn't be too surprised because people are vicious.
Yes.
Human beings are evil. Yep.
Yes. And as for on the current events, the news and everything, anytime you have a married couple that the woman has her last name involved, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
You're talking
about Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris, for example.
Yeah, I don't play that.
And many others.
I don't play that. So I know that people in the chat, he's never been married. Yeah, I've been a bachelor for a long time. I have a girlfriend now, but here's the deal. It took me a long time to get there because that's what I was faced with when I was growing up as a very, very young man. As a bunch of women that looked at Oprah and they were very liberal, and if you did marry them, they're going to try to put their last name with the title. I'm not having no woman's last name.
Right.
That's just me. That's just me. It's just like this last weekend. This last weekend, some guy's wife attacked me before I went into this establishment. I had a Reagan Bush 84 classic throwback sweaty hoodie.
Fun.
And the lady didn't know me, and then she said something about, how could you support a rapist? Who raped? Wait a minute, who, where?
Right.
She's talking about Trump.
Yeah.
And so she said, "I'm just it's just deplorable." And she started firing all these words and everything, and I was like, "No! Wait a minute! This is not how that's going to go. Where's your husband? He's standing right here. See what I mean?
Wow.
Last name. Yeah, I say, dude, check this out." And I got up out of my chair. I'm kind of tall. I said, you know what? You need to check that.
Nice.
And
right on, William. Men's History Month, baby.
All right, man. And happy Men's History Month.
Thank you.
Our man of the day is Lee Marvin.
I've heard that name. Lee Marvin. Let me check.
Yes, that's the man of the day.
Oh, American film actor.
Yes.
Right on.
And he's really cool.
And rest in peace to him as well. Nice.
Right.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. It's good to hear from you, man. Take care.
You too.
Bye. Super chats, guys. Before I get back to calls, hang tight. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. What's up? It's me, Xenia, who is a regular supporter, monthly supporter over on the, what do you call it, crew, the Rumble crew. But let me go over here. Oh, man. Lord. That was an accident. My bag. I meant to go over here and do that. Over on, shout out to Ronnie from Ohio, who donated that coffee yesterday after his call, saying, great talk, never a dull moment. Thank you, Ronnie in Ohio. You got some people commenting on you. C. Bill bought 3 coffees, saying, Ronnie from Ohio, Joe from Arizona, and Steven from Maryland are prime examples of anger, emotional, liberal men who are blinded by hatred of white. Mama's boys, laughing face emoji with tears coming out. But Ronnie says that he has no anger. If I remember correctly, Ronnie does not have anger, says Ronnie. And who are you to say that he doesn't? Just because he has some blind spots left over, he's going to get over those blind spots. Maybe. Unless he's lying about not having anger or doesn't realize that he has anger. But no, Ronnie from Ohio says he doesn't have anger. But Joe from Arizona, he's like apparently angry and he doesn't mind hating. He justifies hating, quote unquote, evil people. Does he hate himself? Shout out to Joe from Arizona, Phoenix. And Steven from Maryland. Aw, Steven's just, he's so vulgar sometimes. But thank you, C-Bill, for the 3 coffees. And shout out to Ronnie. You guys picking on Ronnie. Harmony, 5 coffees. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, come marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. And a Christian cross emoji, trumpets emoji, peace bringing dove emoji with a little olive leaf branch thing. Hake with the good hair. That's kind, Harmony. Thank you. Harmony. Very nice. And let me see if I can show my Ko-fi. Ko-fi. Ko-fi.com/the Hake Report. I don't think that I've opened up this on here, but I know that Sorry I'm Sad 2024 bought a coffee. IG cuts out after your first hour, but I'm still live on IG, right? Sorry I'm Sad 2014? And vetnurse730 _ Instagram.com/the Hake Report. I do like to stream on IG, even though it cuts me off and stuff. Could you restart? I'm sorry, I don't know how to reach you. Thanks for seeing me, says Sorry I'm Sad 2024. I wanted to thank you. I do like Mark and Joe feud, the Mark and Joe feud, and would like them to speak to each other, says Sorry I'm Sad 2024. How do you stay strong in life? Any advice? Let's see. Currently it's okay, says Sorry I'm Sad. Oh, by the way, Sorry I'm Sad says about HADEN. What did he say about HADEN? Look at my handle, Sorry I'm Sad 2024 or 2014 says James. HADEN is making fun of mental health. No, he's making fun of the push about mental health, the hype around it. He may be making fun of mentally ill people, but the hype around it is what is off, okay? And I kind of disavow the term mental health because it doesn't start with the mind. It starts with the evil spirit, you know? Oh, let me get rid of that part that mentions Asmodor. It starts with the evil spirit, you know? Your crazy is just, I guess I do have to show it, believing things that are not true, maybe. It's not this mysterious... I know gals who don't like to be called crazy, but they are crazy, but they don't like to be called crazy. But crazy is in your imagination, being in your imagination, believing your imagination, thinking that you're being logical because you logically go down this rabbit hole, for example. There was a young gal, who asked a crazy question in church. And JC said, that's a crazy question. Drop logic. Something about Jesus and he was born from his mother, but he didn't become evil. How did evil not come through that woman? Well, she was a virgin, so maybe she didn't hate men yet. But anyway, but even entertaining that question is crazy, right? Because don't worry about Jesus. Watch you. And Jesus saves or helps or whatever. So, get a job. If you don't have a job, it's good to work. Stay present. Stay out of your head. Realize that all of your thoughts are just selfishness and mess. All of your longings for this or that is just selfishness and mess. And you have plenty. And you don't realize that a lot of the things that you think that you want, or a lot of the things that you think you don't want. For example, I don't want to go to work. You go to work and you're fine at work. I don't want to take a bath. Remember when you were a kid and your mom said, come on, now you have time to take your bath. I don't want to take a bath. You get in, it feels so good. And then you're like, time to get out. I don't want to get out. You get out, it's cold, but then you're glad to be out. Be happy where you are. Realize that you're going to be fine, whatever you got to do. Don't worry. And if you can't help but worry, don't worry about worrying. Hopefully that helps. Sorry I'm Sad 2024. Thank you for your coffee. That's cool. Hey, sweet. And thanks for always joining on IG. Swifties love the Great White Hope, says Terry. Nice. Crazy is as crazy does. That was a great question, says Vet Nurse 730. Jesus is like a really big brother, laughing face. That's right. I work. I usually catch you on my breaks. Says, sorry, I'm sad. I'm off this week, thankfully. What do you mean, thankfully? Okay, well, be thankful that you're off, and then be thankful when you're working. Nice. Appreciate that. Let me, I remember there was another super chat from, let me go, ring. There was another super chat from Lin Yen Chin over in Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Unfortunately, those are not public, so I can't show them to you. Derek, don't worry about LGH, Lord Goodhair, not understanding the how and why in you and I having genetic incompatibility with this language. And it's DERRICK. I'm doxing his first name. JLP's greatest producer. Soon to surpass the greatest producer, that is. Sean is the greatest, or was the greatest. Derek will soon be the greatest producer. Don't worry about Lord Goodhair, that's Hake, not understanding the how and why you and I, and Lin Yen Chin is part black, okay? Jamaican. Docs. Have genetic incompatibility with this language of English. The grammar, the syntax, the spelling, and phonic structure are all alien to how our DNA communicates. He doesn't get it at all. Indeed, I don't. But I do like how blacks talk. It's stylish. So shout out to Lin Yen Chin and shout out to Derek, who's black and country. I call him a country boy. And then he's like, boy. And I wasn't saying boy, like he's not a man. He's a man. But he's a young man. And shout out. I better stop there. Nice. Why are you guys calling me stinky? I mean, there was one time I went to Christian family camp, Indian village, and I didn't shower the whole week. And I didn't need to. Shout out. I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. Anyway, thank you guys for the super chats. That's cool. Back to calls. Hang tight. Over on in Texas, Daniel has been on hold patiently waiting. Thank you for calling and holding, Daniel. What's up?
Hi, James. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
Your caller, I forget his name. I don't know if it's Manuel. He's talking about women going crazy in 2016, and you had mentioned how Meatloaf sings about lust and not love.
Right. Alex from California. Yeah.
Alex, okay. No, Meatloaf is singing about the correct love, James.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't listen to the lyrics.
True.
Okay? The thing he won't do for love is to mess around and leave the woman high and dry. That's what he won't do.
Okay.
He would do anything for her. He would make all of her dreams come true. But when it comes to moving on to the next thing, he's not going to do that.
Oh, so he would not betray her, basically.
Yes, he would do anything for love except betray her.
Meatloaf was a Trump supporter. He has passed on. He was a solid guy. Although all musicians are liberal, I always say, as liberal musicians go, he was a conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he lived a pretty liberal life.
Oh, did he? He was kind of fat too.
Yeah. But we all have our vices. Yeah, he's big into drugs and rock and roll. He sings about drugs and rock and roll. So
Bad Out of Hell is what I was exposed to from one of my friends at the Christian college that I attended. And
which one? There's 3 Bats Out of Hell.
Oh, the one that starts with "I would do anything for love, but I won't do that."
That's Bat Out of Hell 2.
Okay, nice.
And that's the best album.
Right on. That's funny, man.
Yeah, I've listened to that album so many times.
He has a great voice, or had a great voice.
Yeah, he's a great musician.
Yeah.
He's also his music's very upbeat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sort of Broadway-ish. And I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but very dramatic.
Yeah.
High drama. Like operatic rock almost.
He does have a lot of songs about being a rebel and fooling around. He has a lot of those songs, but you picked the wrong song, James.
That's funny.
You picked the one where he actually talks about fidelity.
Uh-huh.
That's a common mistake too.
True. Yeah.
Because nobody ever knows what he wouldn't do for love. They just hear that one lyric, but then they think, well, what is he talking about he wouldn't do? Well,
Right.
he tells you in the song. You just have to listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's a female singer who says, "Would you do? Would you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, no way,"
Exactly.
something like that.
Yeah. She says, and sooner or later you'll be screwing around. And he says, I won't do that.
Nice.
No.
Meat Loaf. Shout out to Meat Loaf. 2 words, by the way. Meat Loaf for his name.
Yeah, he was. He grew up in Texas, and he played football in high school. But he got into music afterwards, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, me too.
But Alex is right on point. I noticed that 2016 was kind of the when women really seemed to change, at least in my life. I had a very similar experience that I basically had to walk away because they are crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you are a successful man, they will destroy you. They will actively destroy you. And they don't even wait anymore. You know, normally they set a trap for you, but now they just kind of throw up the red flag right away.
Interesting. Yeah, there's something going on. The world has gotten, as Trump said, the world is very angry. Very angry.
Yes.
And it's not good. And it's been a long time coming. Anger increased under Obama. But yeah, and I told you how I kind of changed partly in reaction to Obama. I was panicking about how he's messing up the country and all of his dumb followers, which were included my friends, many of friends. But yeah, I remember being, I got dumped over a woman who hated Trump and hated JLP.
Yeah.
Funny. And I didn't mind. But it's crazy.
You probably dodged a bullet, I'm sure.
Indeed. You dodge a lot of bullets in life. It's there's worse things. The saying goes, there's worse things than being single.
What's the last novel you read? Because Mark was asking.
That was an interesting question. I'm just going to say, and I don't know if it's true, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. I remember reading that.
Mid-90s?
Yeah, I would say so, because it was during the animated series, Batman the Animated Series, and then they came out with this movie, Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm, the animated movie. And I read the book before I saw the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's not a really notable novel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have.
At least you know.
I'll tell you
one.
One book that I have read in the last several years or less, The United States of Trump by Bill O'Reilly. That was an interesting book. Yeah. And I also read Killing the SS by Bill O'Reilly. Both of those books were sort of interesting. I liked them.
You should read more because you did talk about those books a lot. And I think if you have time to read more,
right,
you should do that because it sounded like you enjoyed reading it.
I did.
About it.
Yeah, indeed. I have been reading a little bit of one of my former de facto producers' books, Dylon, and I haven't gotten back to it. And, you know, I do like to read a little bit. It's just, I don't know if I do like it, but I have, when I do read, I enjoy it. So I agree with you. I ought to do it. Anchor Baby does it, and it makes his shows pretty interesting.
Yeah, I went to a cheap bookstore, and I'm going through 2 novels right now. One is called Vigil, and the other is called Amazon. And they're both, you know, these fictions. One is about these Protestants in the Amazon in the 1600s that are raided by pirates. And then Vigil is about a fossil discovery. It's a horror novel about a fossil that's terrorizing people.
Whoa.
So, yeah, it's just kind of goofy reads.
Right on, man. And you said you encouraged us to read novels and fiction.
Yes, because there's many truths in fiction that you won't find in nonfiction because of litigation. If I'm writing an autobiography, there's people who are going to come out of the woodwork and say, no, that's not the way it happened.
Right.
But you can make a fiction and you put real events in there.
I was trying to explain that, and actually Ronnie agreed with me, that the truth doesn't come out in courts.
No.
It's a tortured version of the quote-unquote truth that often comes out in courts. And I was thinking about it because I had this debate with the Hippy Dippy Round Table, I think, or listened to it, somebody was talking about how Rudy Giuliani admitted that he knowingly lied about whatever election something. And I'm like, that probably was a forced statement that you put out in court to avoid more problems in court. That doesn't tell you the truth. And that's a very interesting point about fiction and putting out truth and the truth and how human nature is. You're more free. That's a very interesting point, man. I like it.
Yeah. The Shroud of Turin, I'm glad Mark had mentioned that, because I was thinking it was the Veronica wiping the face of Jesus, but no, it's the shroud that he was wrapped in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah. I thought for the longest time that it was the cloth that Veronica wiped the face of Jesus, because I thought that was supposed to have been a thing. Like, that was also a relic, that the cloth that Veronica wiped his face with was, his the impression left on the cloth. I thought that was a thing, but
right.
Maybe it's not a thing. I don't know.
Do you believe in it, out of curiosity, in short?
Why not?
Okay. Fair enough.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to believe it.
Nice. Fair enough, man. I appreciate it. Great call. Daniel in Texas.
Okay.
Take care, man.
All right.
Bye. And Austin in Virginia is on the line here. By the way, catch Joel Friday TV. The redirect is set. Thank you, Joel. Austin, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I called you like last week, and you told me to call you back, so I'm doing it.
Nice. It's good to hear from you. I forget what we talked about, but go ahead.
I said that I was able to observe my judgment, and it made it so that I could spend time with my family without experiencing anger, which was like a real blessing. I was very thankful.
That's cool. Isn't it nice to be present? It's like a relief. It's like an instant stress relief to be present.
Man. It's like lightweight, It's
That's
crazy.
right. Lightweight, baby. Nice.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Hey, so what's the weather like you're in Los Angeles?
Yeah, beautiful Los Angeles. It's cooler today. It's only 78 out. It's going to hit 82. It's not going to be up to like 90, which is hot for this side of LA. This is like west of downtown, and we're near Santa Monica. And so I'm so spoiled. It used to be like 90s, 100s in San Gabriel Valley where I used to be from, but it's okay. It's not bad. So
that's pretty cool. I've never been out that way, but I'm trying to go at least one time.
Yeah, if you ever make it out, make sure you come to a church service if you can.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Right on.
Hell yeah. I'm smoking a cigar. You ever smoke a cigar?
I have a cigar. I'm not good at them because I don't know how just to keep it in my cheeks and mouth. So are you working or are you not working?
Yeah, I run a small sales company for consumer packaged goods and ag products.
Oh, so you have your own business?
Yeah.
Right
I'm
on.
Working on my own schedule, pretty much. Like.
No wonder you have a cigar.
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday! Nice.
Yeah, man. I turned 26.
Right on, man. A young, enterprising man. Happy Men's History Month, Austin in Virginia, based.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder, like, if the past is not real, like, why would we? I mean, I appreciate the importance of recognizing history, but we're not supposed to live in the past,
True. Right. The benefit of learning about history and discussing the past is human nature, I think. and how things work, how men have dealt with each other, where they've gone wrong. That's part of the benefit. It's, whites like to keep a record of things. A lot of whites do anyway.
Yeah, we're pretty good about that.
Yeah, some of us.
It's like one thing we're doing all right. I like the Civil War history a lot.
Right on. Yeah, I'm somewhat interested in it. I hear from Daniel and others about it, and I like to think a little bit differently about it from how I was taught, because I basically thought North were the bad guys. I mean, North were the good guys and South were the bad guys, even though I knew that there were good and bad slave owners. But no, there were very fine people maybe on both sides and violence on many sides.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know all that much about, like, the reasons it happened.
Right.
But I live, like, 30 minutes away from Appomattox, where they signed the surrender.
Until just a few years ago, maybe last year, I used to call it Appomattox.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, Appomattox, nice.
One of my favorite parts about the Civil War history is that even after the Confederacy surrendered, a lot of the officer class, they just became like raiders, and they would just like blow up northern businesses.
Whoa! So they became terrorists. They became terrorists in their own country. That's funny.
Right. Well,
I mean, that's not
imagine
funny.
Imagine that your countrymen invade your home and take your livestock, and
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah, I mean they were bitter, kind of like Hamas is bitter or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know much about that either.
Me either.
Yeah, that's like interesting stuff. That's like not in my neighborhood,
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. What? So like, I don't know, man. That's very cool. I appreciate you talking to me. It's very nice to be heard.
Yeah, indeed. Call me anytime, man. If anytime that you have some questions or comments, or a question or a comment, feel free. I have a quick question from Jaime. Would you work for a union and make 30% more? Would you rather work in a union and make 30% more or run your own business?
For me?
Yeah.
I think unions do a lot to help people who are in them. I am lucky enough that I don't have to work with any union, and I'm thankful for that. I also work in a field where there's not really a necessity for a union. It's like a lot of
nice.
You get what you give. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that type of life. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I'm very thankful.
Cool, man. It's great hearing from you. Happy Men's History Month again to you.
You too, brother. Appreciate the call.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Austin in Virginia. What a bright personality, right? Okay. Let me double check for any remaining super chats, and in the meantime, I will prepare for getting back to maybe a little bit of news. I wanted to get to a little bit of news. Let's see here, guys. 5 things to know. Okay, shout out to Xenia once again. Thank you, Xenia. Oh, you know what? I forgot to shout out the Facebook crew. Yankee Free just followed. Nice. Thank you, Yankee Free. Gift a lemon now to be number 1. But thank you guys for the lemons, because you guys give me lemons a lot, and I appreciate that. Misty and, I don't know, Kilo Alpha Tango, maybe Beta Legs sometimes. Groovy Monkey, does he ever? What's up, Samu Norse? And Potleaf, hey, rest in peace, Meatloaf, he says. Nice. Anyway, yeah, thank you, people. I'd like to shout you out a little bit, because the DLive crew, they give lemons and things, So shout them out. And lemons are like almost like pennies. A little bit more than a penny is a lemon. So nice. And by the way, shout out to the Facebook crew. Lisa says, maybe I'll make meatloaf for dinner. Why would he take a woman's last name anyway? I know. I was laughing, Lisa, because I was thinking about, I don't think I'll be able to get to this 5 things thing. Sorry, guys. Not sorry, but forgive me. the former mayor, Antonio Villaraigosa. His name was Tony Villar, and then he went all Mexican sounding because he married a Raigosa. And he's divorced her too, by the way. And he changed his name from Villar to Villar Raigosa. Villaraigosa. Did you know that? What a feminist. No hyphen, by the way. Antonio Villaraigosa. It's kind of like a Beto was Robert O'Rourke. Beto. And Obama was Barry Soetoro, some people say. And he went to Barack Obama because, you know, the simp for the POC media eats that stuff up. Open your treasure chest, says Sorry I'm Sad. No, I'm not going to open the treasure chest. Maybe another day. So anyway, funny, huh? Shout out to the Facebook crew and the IG crew. Let me see if I can play something fun, shall we? And hopefully I don't blast your ears out. I'll pull down the audio here. And we will have a nice, slow, easy closing out of the show. Not a stressed, frazzled one, you know? So if I go over here and click start of that, we can enjoy this. Beautiful, beautiful whatever that is. Very nice. Oh, for those of you listening on the audio feed, where's the, just make sure. Do you hear it? That's me walking and showing you guys the beautiful GMR. Okay, and then, I'm coughing. Joel Friday TV will be coming up next. There was a specific song that I wanted to play, and I forget how long it was. Oh yeah, hey, Langtry. This is from Langtry, Langtry. And this track is called The Ballad of Painless Parker. The Ballad of Painless Parker. It's from, I forget, Soft Abuse, maybe, album, whatever. As Upon the Road to There Too is the album, actually. So here it is, guys. Enjoy and adios. Kind of fun, huh? Kind of nice, huh? Kind of fun, huh? Need some washboard and a banjo. Indeed. Glendora Mountain Road. You seen Deliverance? Sounds like that. Terrible music. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts, maybe. Bye, guys. Take care.